with a word from Earl's title sponsor, also a sponsor of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, the Living for We podcast. What happens when a regular day at school turns into the worst day of your life? Unfortunately, that's a reality that happens way too frequently in today's world. Gun violence is the leading cause of death for young people in America, and in communities of color, the impact is even greater. Every bullet fired creates two victims, the person in front of the gun and the one pulling the trigger. Living for We, Keep Your Head Up is an award-winning podcast that focuses on real stories, real struggles, and real solutions in Northeast Ohio. A new episode dropped yesterday. It's called Something Greater Than Me. Stanley Frankert shares a powerful story about the moment his life could have gone in a completely different direction, one where he might have faced a murder charge, but he believes divine intervention stepped in. If you want to hear stories like that, make sure you listen to Living for We wherever you get your podcast or watch the video version on IdeaStream's YouTube channel. Learn more at ideastream.com/podcast/Living for We. Subscribe today for Living for We on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. But guys, we start with the big news out of the NFL and how it impacts the Cleveland Browns. Russell Wilson is heading to New York to team up with Jameis Winston on the Giants. He agreed to a one-year deal, guaranteeing him $10.5 million with a chance to earn up to $21 million in incentives. And Earl, you and I were on the exact same wavelength when we saw this news yesterday. So what do you think Wilson going to New York means for the Browns when it comes to their quarterback conundrum?
I think the Browns going to draft Shedeur Sanders. I just think that locks everything in. I think Cam Ward is going to be the number one overall pick of the draft. I think that the Browns draft Shedeur and probably signs Joe Flacco or Carson Wentz to be that third quarterback to go along with Kenny Pickett. To me, I understand that Shedeur Sanders has his flaws and he might not be projected as this quarterback that's going to be all world, but I've always felt like he checks off all the boxes that matters. I think where it counts the most is above the shoulders. He knows what he's doing at the line of scrimmage, pre and post snap. He has elite ball placement. His accuracy is there, and he, knows how to read a defense. When I think about the relationships between Musgrave and his dad, when I think about Pat Shurmur's relationship with him and Kevin Stefanski, I think that the blind trust has been gained by all parties that's involved. I think that Shedeur Sanders is going to help Jimmy Haslam sell tickets for his new stadium that he's building. And I think that Kevin Stefanski can win with him. I think the Giants made that move with probably some solid intel that the Browns are taking Shedeur Sanders with the number 2 pick. I don't foresee any other world why you would sign Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson if you didn't feel like that was the case.
Yeah, interesting. I think that you're probably right. I still think that the Browns will take a quarterback at pick 2 if they don't move to 1. I mean, it sounds like by all accounts that Cam Ward's going to go to Tennessee at 1. They're going to have that workout coming up here soon. And, yeah, of course, they said that they're open for business if somebody wants to offer a big package for the first overall pick. I don't think they're going to trade the first pick. They'll maybe listen. But it'll probably end up being Shedeur for the Browns. And I still think that there will be a draft day trade with Atlanta for Kirk Cousins. And Cousins will be your quarterback starting the season. You'll have Shedeur in that room, and you'll have Kenny Pickett, and away you go. And you sort of prepare yourself for the future. You've got your bridge with Kirk Cousins. Unfortunately, they'll have to probably give up a 4th or 5th round pick to get him. Mm-hmm. But that was a smart move by Atlanta by giving them the $10 million to essentially secure themselves a mid-round pick.
Listen, y'all boys been on y'all homework. Y'all was very concise. Y'all was clear what y'all thought was going to happen. And I couldn't agree anymore. Everybody get yourself prepared. Wrong wrist. Yeah, wrong wrist. There it is. Just get it together. Understand it. It might be some people that might be a little disappointed in it. I understand it. I'm not sitting up here advocating saying that Shedeur Sanders is going to be knock people's socks off, or he's going to be the rookie of the year, or he's going to be a perennial all pro, or whatever the case may be. But the Cleveland Browns are going to make the decision that was difficult and the right decision. The Cleveland Browns understood that they needed a quarterback. And if the Giants were under any circumstance thinking that Shedeur Sanders would be available, don't get it twisted. They would have taken Shedeur Sanders at 3. And if they could still get Shedeur Sanders at 2, I think that they wouldn't even mind having those 3 quarterbacks. Tommy DeVito would just have to get cut or traded. They would still bring in Shedeur Sanders. But for me, I think there's a clear signal that's being put out that the Cleveland Browns have decided Shedeur Sanders is the pick at number 2. And now it's just time for the fan base to either you liked it in the beginning or you didn't like it in the beginning, but they're just trying to tell you, go ahead, get your mind ready, get your personality ready, get your situation, because Shedeur Sanders is going to be a Cleveland Brown. That's what my thoughts.
But I don't mind that. Like, I think we all on this panel can agree Kevin Stefanski can win with Shedeur Sanders. Like, you can speak to this, but my co-host of the Ultimate 216 show is Cecil Shorts. And me and Cecil talk a lot about, going through this draft process, and when you go to the combine and things like that. A lot of these draft experts, they break you down or build you up based on your height, your hand size, how much you weigh, and things like that. And they don't really consider, real football aspects. Like, basically what I'm saying is these same experts that would say Shedeur Sanders is not worthy of being the top 5 pick, when they rank his strengths and his weaknesses, to me, Dustin, all the things that they say are his strengths are the things that you need to be successful in the NFL.
Right.
And so I don't understand, and maybe you can help me understand, how can the same people that say, okay, he's weak here, he's strong here, evaluate the totality of the situation and say he's not really worthy of being the top 5 pick, but everything that they mark off as a strength, IQ, toughness, leadership, ball placement, accuracy.
Played a lot of games.
Like, these are played a lot of games. Being able to stand in the pocket and take a hit. These are all things that you want your NFL quarterback to be able to do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I just don't think it's smart and fair to the players to speak in absolutes this time of year when you're talking about drafting a player. I mean, the kid's obviously a very talented guy. He's been brought up the right way. He understands the spotlight, all the things that you've got to do. He's been a great player every place he's played.
Mm-hmm.
His whole life, he's been a champion, essentially, with what he's done. I mean, not winning a national championship, but I mean, he's a winner.
Mm-hmm.
Turned a program around that was in the doldrums. A 1-11 team to the next year, 2 years, basically turning it into a 9-win Big 12 contender. I mean, they were almost in the Big 12 championship and could have made the college football playoffs. So I'm not going to doubt the kid at all. I mean, I think he's a really good player, has the chance to be a really good pro. I like Cam Ward better. Probably can't get Cam Ward. So I'm not settling. Mm-hmm. It's just you're taking the guy that is going to be there, who I think could be a good pro. And I just think it's ridiculous to say it's not. You can't. When people say like he's not worthy of a top 5 pick or about any player, not just Shedeur Sanders, any player, he's not worthy. It's too high. It's too big of. It's like, okay, man, talk to me in 2 years.
Right.
It's like if the Browns think that guy can play, they're going to take him. He plays the most important position. They don't have a quarterback, and they've got an opportunity to get a good one.
Do you guys think this is going to be very interesting to me, because for the last, I would say, 10, 12 years, the Browns have had very polarizing moves that have been made at quarterback. We can go back and start talking about it at Johnny Manziel. Some people even think Brady Quinn, Derek Anderson, Brandon Wheaton being 30 years old, taking them. And then you get to the point where now you got the Deshaun Watson, you have Baker. We all know those things. Now you got another one. I mean, this move is going to move the needle. I mean, you're right back. We thought we was going to let the coals die down on the barbecue. No. This is all. It's like being lifting weights with a partner, and the strength and conditioning coach says, no, it's still your set. It's you right back up. You're like, hold on, bro. I get my 15, 20 seconds. We are right back up with Shedeur Sanders. We are going to be leading SportsCenter, leading FS1. Skip Bayless gonna come back. Stephen A gonna talk about it. We all gonna be. We are right back up. Do you think the fan base is A, ready for that, and B, will they give him a legitimate shot to say, I'm gonna let Shedeur earn my admiration and earn my support? Or do you think it's gonna be an uphill battle for him to get that level of support right out the gates?
Oh, I think he'll get support right out the gates.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean,
You think the fan base will be all around?
So even if the fan base right now is split on Shedeur, Cleveland fans are loyal. Browns fans are faithful. Once he is selected and he puts on that brown and orange, whomever the player is, then I believe that Browns fans are going to give whoever that player is a fair opportunity to earn credibility and trust from the fan base. As far as being, prepared and ready for everything that comes with Shedeur Sanders, this is not the city of Cleveland's or the Browns' first rodeo. You didn't have Johnny Manziel. Yeah. You didn't had Odell Beckham. You made the trade for Deshaun Watson. So, this city and this franchise, how well, I don't know how well they can handle it, but they've been in this position before. I think at the end of the day, if Shedeur can come out here and be a baller and prove that he can play, that makes his moxie that much more attractive to the Cleveland Browns fans. So,
let me ask you guys a question, because I wasn't here when the team drafted Baker Mayfield. Was Baker the consensus number one? Was everyone on board with Baker being the quarterback they took, or was it a mixed bag of who they wanted?
It was a mixed bag.
A huge mixed bag.
I wanted Baker, though, if I'm being honest.
Okay, before we go into that, hold on. So it was a mixed bag when they took Baker. When he came in on that Thursday night game against the Jets and led them to their first win, they unlocked the beer coolers, all that. Was it ever everyone all in on Baker?
Yeah.
There was a point where he had changed the opinions of those who didn't want him at first, had converted them into believers, correct?
I think, well, let me go back, because I know Dustin was working for the Browns at that time. I just remember they had started the season with Tyrod Taylor. They were doing Hard Knocks. At the time, the coach came up to him and he says, "Hey, congratulations, you won.
You won the second.
Yeah,
Hugh Jackson said that.
Hugh Jackson said you won the backup position, starting the backup role, and everybody saw it on that. And Baker was pissed. You could tell he was kind of like, I can't believe you called me here to tell me that on national TV. So from that, everybody was like, I kind of like him, because I thought that was a jerk move by the coach to do that. So they had been playing, and I think they played a really close game, the first game against the Saints. And I think they lost at the last second because we missed a field goal.
I think they won. Help me out on this. But Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. He threw a Hail Mary at the end of the game. Antonio Callaway caught it. Yep. But I was told that the throw was so inaccurate that it somehow ended up in Callaway's route tree or something.
It was wild, because everybody knew Tyrod Taylor was playing, and they was gonna let Tyrod Taylor play the rest of the season. He gets hurt against the Jets.
I was there, bro.
And Baker comes in and he throws this dart to Landry. And it was a back shoulder seam ball. And first of all, we hadn't seen no throws in years. It was we didn't even get, when people say that was a big time throw, we hadn't seen big time throws, big time nothing. He threw that rock and the crowd went crazy, and we was like, oh, we might got something here.
I was at that game, and I remember before Baker came in, a lot of us, they was in a TV timeout, and we can see Baker on the sidelines warming up. And that's when the crowd started to ramp up. By the end of the game, because that was the same game that we had broke that long losing streak. I remember earlier in the game, Isaiah Crowell, former Browns running back, scored a touchdown. He did the whole wipe your ass thing, throw it in the stands, right?
He was playing for it. Yep, he was playing for it.
That plus Baker coming in and saving the day, people think I'm joking. That stadium shook that night.
Hey,
it really.
I was doing the sidelines.
You was doing sidelines for that game?
Yeah.
It was crazy, wasn't
it? What was it like when the buzz got around, he was coming into the game?
Oh, dude, it was nuts. They were wearing the all brown uniforms.
Yeah.
Thursday night
football. They did the Philly special.
That's when we were also, when they did the Philly special.
2-point conversion.
On that 2-point conversion.
Baker catches it and he got the picture.
And then
Higgins behind him, and he's doing
he was doing it. Bro, they was like, who was doing the call? They was like, oh, Cleveland, y'all got one. Y'all got something.
So that was my question, G. And Dustin, if you want to start on this, and then I want you guys all to chime in because I wasn't here. We saw the change in people once Baker got in the field and played well. And I was looking at his rookie year stats. He set all the rookie year records. For the whole discussion of, is Shedeur worth a top 2 pick? Is he worth a top 5 pick? Is he whatever? If he comes in and plays well, who gives a crap where his preseason and pre-draft rank was, right? He'll be able to change anyone who doesn't or didn't want him pre-draft into a believer if he comes in and delivers a strong rookie season. Am I wrong with making that assumption?
No, you're 1,000% right. And by the way, I don't remember a lot of people after we drafted Baker that didn't really get excited about him because we needed a quarterback.
Yep.
You were looking for some sort of change. I mean, Tyrod Taylor was going to be the bridge until Baker got ready to go, and he was the number 1 overall pick. Mm-hmm. And then he comes into the game, he gets to that win against the Jets. The beer coolers get opened up across the city, and it was like electricity, dude. Man, it was a fun year. I mean, the Browns were 7-8-1 that year, I believe.
Yeah, and they were alive. The last game of the season, they go to Baltimore in that season. They needed to win, and Pittsburgh, I think, Pittsburgh needed to lose or something like that, and they needed to beat Baltimore. It didn't end up happening, but that last game of the season against the Ravens, Baker throws for like 300-plus yards. They come back in the game. Jarvis Landry makes a spectacular catch. They just come up a little short. And I always say about that season is that season was so fun for everybody, even though we didn't make the playoffs, because you had you for the first time, you was like, I can see where there's an off-ramp to getting off this treadmill. Mm-hmm. We now have a quarterback, and then Jarvis Landry came in, and then the very next season, by the way, that season they promote Nick Chubb. And Nick Chubb was not, because it was Carlos Hyde was starting at the beginning of the season. Nick Chubb comes in and rushes for 200 yards, almost 200 yards a few games, and now you have a 1,000-yard young running back, and your backfield looks set between Baker and Chubb. And then the next year they get Odell Beckham Jr. in the side. I'll be like, bro, these dudes they're on fire. So yeah, I think there was a lot of people, Earl, that was behind Baker during that season, even though they didn't make the playoffs, because for once looked like you had something.
For sure, man. Like Baker, listen, I wanted Baker. I'm not ashamed to say I wanted Baker Mayfield to be the quarterback. I think Baker was cool until he wasn't, right? I think for me personally, the whole Duke Johnson situation and the comments he made about Myles Garrett after the Mason Rudolph situation, that kind of would turn me off a little bit from Baker. You can talk all the shit you want to talk, have all the moxie you want, man. Just don't throw your brothers under the bus like that or make things like that public. As far as the fan base, maybe I'm a little naive. I think, man, once you don that brown and orange, the fan base is going to be behind you until you give them a reason not to. And so with Shedeur coming in with the star status that he comes in with, the confidence that he comes in with, if he embraces the city and really kind of move like Donovan Mitchell moves, for example, throughout this city, and then he performs well, even those who really didn't want him with the number 2 overall pick, they'll get on board, because at the end of the day, all Browns fans want is just to see this team win and be successful. And if he can contribute to that, they can care less who it is or where that person was drafted.
Agreed. Yeah. I think he's gonna be. It's gonna be fun to watch because.
I mean, listen, I can get behind the pick. I mean, I really do like the player. I like Cam a little bit better.
Oh yeah,
but we're not getting Cam.
Yeah, if I could get Cam,
I don't think anyone's arguing that point.
Nah, you always take 1 over 2.
Last part of this, and we can
right?
move on. But are we all in agreement? I think all 4 of us agree that the Wilson signing in New York points us in the direction of the Browns probably feeling pretty confident that they're going to take Shedeur Sanders. But it can't just be Kenny Pickett and Shedeur Sanders in the quarterback room. We got to get a veteran at some point to help round out that unit. Or you would think, maybe not have to, you would think they would. It looks like Flacco and Wentz are the only 2 options left, unless you wait for Kirk Cousins, which Dustin did allude to.
Yep.
I think
but Cousins said yesterday, or Albert Breer wrote yesterday, that Cousins doesn't want to get Penixed again and go to a team that's drafting a quarterback high. So if they take Sanders, he may not remove his no-trade clause to be sent to Cleveland. So how do you parse out those 3
guys,
potential options?
Where's Kirk Cousins going? Where's he going? Where he's so like
there's
not many places he's guaranteed a chance to go and be the starting quarterback right away. And listen, Pittsburgh. Hopefully they sign Rodgers, so that takes them off the table for Kirk Cousins, and the Browns could then get Cousins to be their starting quarterback. He's 37 years old. He can barely walk and can barely throw.
Right.
So
if he was smart.
So if he's smart, like come be a starter for the Browns for this year and see what happens.
And you
know the system.
You know how Kev is. Kev. This could be one thing. Kev really does not throw his dudes under the bus during the middle of the season. If they wanted to make a move to Shedeur Sanders in the middle of the season, it would have to be because of injury or because Kirk Cousins couldn't lift his body off the ground. He's going to give him every opportunity because he's thinking like this. Kirk Cousins could give me an opportunity to win 9 games and I don't have to play my rookie quarterback. I keep my job. He keeps his job smooth.
See, me, if I had to pick, I'm going with Flacco, just for everything Dustin just said. Like, he's old, he's coming off an injury, he's proven to be slow. And I'm sorry, when Kevin Stefanski and everybody that's involved with the offense talk about, I need somebody that's going to make good decisions and extend plays, well, he's hurt. So how can he extend plays? Good decisions is 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. To me, that don't sound like a quarterback that can help you win games right away if you needed him to. He might still be rehabbing for all we know. Now, when it comes to Joe Flacco, I was out when we had Stump on the show. But I remember watching, and Stump was just talking about the impact that Flacco had in the locker room. I was in a space a couple weeks ago. Newsom talked about a Twitter space. Greg Newsom talked about, the impact Flacco had in the locker room when he was here. Everybody that you talk to and everything that you hear, Flacco was good for the quarterback room and the overall locker room. And this is a dude that I believe that, and he's proven it here in Cleveland, if he had to start off the season as the starting quarterback, he can win some games. Back to Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix got, 5 stars under his belt? He got 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His completion percentage is not even 60%. And so when you look at that situation, you got a second-year head coach, you got a second-year GM. They don't want to get fired either. And so if Penix is not ready to go, if Penix somehow steps back, then you got Kirk Cousins there that's been in that system for a year and can step in and try to win some games. They are, in my opinion, more in line with trying to win right now than the Browns are. You got Bijan Robinson in that backfield. You got London at wide receiver. Kyle Pitts at tight end. You flip on the other side, you got Jesse Bates at safety. You got A.J. Terrell at corner. So you got some ballers over there to where they're trying to go out there and trying to go capture that division now. And I think when we talk about Kirk Cousins to Cleveland, you got to ask yourself, does it make sense for Atlanta long term? Yeah, they got Penix there, but who the hell going to be the veteran backup quarterback to him if they let their veteran go?
What if, guys?
Yeah, good.
Go ahead.
No, I just a couple thoughts on that. I mean, Kirk Cousins has already made $40 million. He's going to make another 40 or whatever it is, when it's all said and done. They just gave him this $10 million roster bonus.
Yep.
So, I mean, he doesn't like the Falcons, how they're handling this situation. Nope. He wanted to be released so that he could just pick and choose now, where to go. I just don't. I think that situation is probably a little untenable between the two parties, and everybody's waiting to see what happens here with the first day of the draft, and then after that, I think he'll be moved.
I got one last thing before we move on, but Mary Kay just tweeted that the Browns worked out Cam Ward privately in Miami. Among those in attendance were Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam, and Kevin Stefanski. League sources, tell Cleveland.com. Is that normal, Dustin? If they weren't at Pro Day to have a private workout with them? I mean, it seems like they're just doing due diligence in the case he doesn't go number 1. Or could this mean maybe they are in discussions to trade up to number 1?
I think you're doing the due diligence regardless. I mean, the Browns are in the market for a quarterback. They've got to have one. You're going to work out all these guys. And, by the way, who cares? If you don't get him, you still got to put him through a workout. You got to interview the kid. You're going to play against him. He's going to be a good player. Yeah. So, maybe you get some trade secrets. You know what I mean? Yeah. Belichick did it all the time. Yeah.
Or, maybe, look, it's just one of those things. It's maybe they was going to sell their soul for it. If he would have came out of that workout, they said, listen, and everybody, the brass, the ownership was like, did you see that guy do that?
I pray Jimmy wasn't there. I hope it was just Andrew and Kevin.
Oh, no, he's there.
Don't let Jimmy see it.
Oh, he's there.
He was there.
Oh, Lord.
He there with the high tuck, too.
Man, he got 8 first round. He telling Andrew right now, whatever it take, go do it. Whatever it take.
If they would have came out blown away from it, they would have came and said, all right, well, let's go ahead and we'll trade up. But at that point, he got to be cold. He got to be the truth if you're gonna move up, because I think that would cost you. Wouldn't that be a number 1 pick for next year that they might want? I think to move up from 2 to 1 and get a quarterback, I think the asking price is at least another 1 and swapping what they did.
I don't know if it's that much, another 1, but yeah, you're gonna pay a king's ransom to get the guy that they know you want. So.
Yeah. So that may work. And my last thing is, I don't know that many quarterbacks that either went 1 or 2 that have been sitting to start the season. Mm-hmm. Are we under the
Drake May went 3 last year, and he was the last one in a while to go that high and not start immediately.
I mean, do you
Jacoby started for him.
Do you think what's the chances right now if Shedeur is a pick? What chances around the horn do you think that Shedeur plays week 1 as the starter?
Well, right now, as it stands, it would be him and Kenny Pickett on the roster. The Browns is having Journey come in to do a concert on draft day.
It's not the real Journey.
Yeah, right. Shout out. Listen, they love him in the Philippines. He sounds just like him.
I mean, as it stands,
sounds just like him.
As it stands right
like
now, as it stands right now, man, he would probably be the opening day starter.
So you got it majority about what 70%, 75%?
I say about 70.
Your thoughts, Dustin? Week 1
for Shedeur to be the opening day starter.
Week 1.
I mean, like I kind of hope he's not.
That's it. You see, that's another one of the next conversation. Hope and will he is two different things because
I just know the Browns, I know the fans, I know the owner.
Right.
Like it's just the odds are he'll probably be the starter.
For content purposes, I hope it's like a couple weeks. So me, Mike, and Ant can sit back there, build the suspense, get everybody in the queue waiting for our Monday show. When it's announced, that's how you want to do it. The producer and me want it that way.
But if you Kevin Stefanski, do you get a more of a reprieve if you say I had a rookie quarterback and he started week 1 and look what he did, he balled out? Or does he get that same reprieve if they have a terrible record but the starting quarterback was a retread or Kenny Pickett or somebody else and they go 1-5, but Shedeur looks good after that? Is there a better way that it works out for Stefanski to sit him or to play him?
Pearl?
I don't think it's a better way that works out either way. I just think that when you get to, this off-season program and you get to training camp, it can't be like it was last year, right? It just can't be. And with everything that's on the line, I think Kevin is going to properly assess the situation with the QB coach and with the offensive coordinator and make a sound decision. I don't think that we're going to go into this upcoming season with the uncertainties that just unsure about everything. And I feel that way because Kevin came out immediately and said he was calling plays. So I think every decision that's made about this position and about this offense is going to be stern, it's going to be sound, and it's going to be quick. So everybody can be on the same page and get this thing moving in the right direction.
Start, McNuggets. Go ahead.